When your dog looks up at you from across the room, really looks at you with that quiet, steady gaze, do you know who they are actually seeing? You probably think they see your face, or they recognize your voice, or they just remember the hand that feeds them. But what neuroscientists at Emory University discovered after spending years scanning the brains of awake, unrestrained dogs inside MRI machines is something far stranger and far more intimate than any of that. Your dog is not seeing the version of you that your friends see. They are not seeing the version your coworkers know. They are not even seeing the version your own family has spent decades watching. They are seeing a version of you that no other human being on this planet will ever meet. And once you understand what that version is and how their brain builds it, the way you walk into a room around your dog will never feel the same again. I'm going to walk you through the 7 things their brain is actually doing when they look at you. Stay with me until number 5, because that one explains why your dog will sometimes stare at you for no reason at all, and why that stare means something most owners completely miss. Welcome. Dogs have lived alongside humans for over 15,000 years. That is not a figure of speech. That is literal evolutionary biology. Somewhere along that timeline, their brains began to specialize, not in surviving in the wild the way wolves did, but in reading us, reading our faces, reading our smells, reading the rhythm of our footsteps from the other side of a closed door. A study led by Dr. Gregory Burns at Emory University trained dogs to lie still inside an MRI scanner while fully awake. No sedation, no restraints. And what they found inside those brains rewrote everything we thought we knew about how dogs perceive their humans. There is a region in your dog's brain that lights up only for you. Not for other dogs, not for strangers, not even for other family members in the same household, just for you. That region is where the version of you that only your dog knows actually lives, and here is what is inside it. The first thing your dog's brain does when you are near is something no human will ever experience. They do not start with your face, they start with your smell. Picture this. You walk through the front door after a long day. Before you have said a single word, before your dog has even seen you turn the corner, their brain has already constructed a complete profile of where you have been, who you touched, what you ate, and even what mood you were in when you left. Most owners assume the dog is just excited to see them. They lean down, they pet, they say the same greeting they always say. But what is actually happening is far more profound. Your dog has 300 million olfactory receptors compared to your 6 million. Their olfactory bulb, the part of the brain that processes smell, is 40 times larger than yours proportionally. When that brain processes your scent, it does not register a single smell. It registers a layered story. The shampoo from this morning, the coffee at 10, the stress of the meeting at 2, the cold air on your coat from the walk to the car. To your dog, you are not a person who smells a certain way. You are a moving biography written in scent. And every time you walk in the door, they are reading the latest chapter. This is why your dog will sometimes sniff you for a long, slow moment before they greet you. They are not being weird. They are catching up on your day in the only language their brain trusts above all others. Now, here is where it gets even stranger. Because once they have read your smell, that is when their brain does the second thing. And this one is the reason your dog reacts to you differently than they react to anyone else who lives in the same house. Inside your dog's brain, there's a small almond-shaped region called the caudate nucleus. In humans, this is the area that activates when we feel love, anticipation, and reward. Burns and his team wanted to know if dogs had something similar, so they began running experiments where the dog would smell, in sequence, 5 different scents: a familiar dog, a strange human, a familiar human from the household, and finally, the scent of their primary person. The first 4 scents produced mild brain activity, recognition, mild interest, calm. But when the dog smelled the scent of their primary person, the caudate nucleus erupted, the same region that lights up in a human when they see someone they love, the same chemistry, the same reward signature. The dog was not just identifying you. The dog was experiencing you as the source of meaning in their world. Most owners assume their dog loves the whole family equally. And while they may love everyone, the brain scan tells a different story. There is one person whose scent activates the deepest reward center in their nervous system. And if you are watching this video right now with a dog in the next room, there's a very good chance that person is you. This is why, when you walk into a room, your dog will often choose you over the person already petting them. It is not preference, it is neurochemistry. But here is what most people get wrong about that bond. And it leads us to number 3. When you speak to your dog, their brain does something that, until 2016, no scientist believed was possible. For decades, researchers assumed dogs only responded to tone. Happy voice, happy dog. Stern voice, careful dog. They thought the words themselves were meaningless. But a study led by Attila Andix in Budapest changed everything. They scanned dogs while listening to recordings of their owners speaking, and they found something extraordinary. Dogs decode human language using 2 separate hemispheres of their brain at the same time. The left hemisphere processes the actual words. The right hemisphere processes the tone. And the reward center, that same caudate nucleus, only lights up when both halves agree. When the words are kind and the tone is kind, the dog's brain rewards them. When the words are kind but the tone is sharp, the brain stays quiet. They can tell the difference. This is why your dog seems to know when you are pretending to be fine. When you say, "I'm okay," but your voice is tight, your dog does not believe the words. They believe the mismatch. And in that moment, they often do something specific. They come closer. They settle near your feet. They put their head on your knee. They are not trying to comfort you because they sense general sadness. They are trying to comfort you because their brain has just told them, in a language no human can fully share, that the person they love most is lying to themselves. That is the version of you they are watching out for, the one underneath the words. By the time a dog has lived with you for a full year, their brain has done something most owners will never realize. It has built a complete predictive model of your behavior. Researchers call this associative scaffolding. Every day, your dog is silently logging the patterns of your life, the exact second you usually wake up, the order in which you put on your shoes, the little sigh you make before you stand up from the couch, the pace of your footsteps when you are happy versus when you are angry versus when you are tired. By month 3, they know your morning routine. By month 6, they know your week. By year 1, they can often predict what you are about to do before you have decided to do it. This is why your dog will walk to the front door 30 seconds before you reach for your keys. It is why they will lift their head from across the room the moment your tone changes during a phone call. It is why they will sometimes look at you, as if waiting for something, and then watch you do exactly what they were waiting for. To them, you are the most predictable, most studied, most known creature in the entire world. But here's the part that makes this beautiful instead of unsettling. The reason their brain does this is not surveillance, it is attachment. The more they can predict you, the safer they feel. Predictability in the dog brain is intimacy. And every routine you have ever shared with your dog, every walk at the same time, every dinner in the same place, has been a small love letter their nervous system is reading every single day. Now, before we get to number 5, which is the strangest one, the one that explains those long stares for no reason at all, there is something even deeper happening underneath all of this. And it is number 6. Have you ever caught your dog staring at you from across the room, completely still, when nothing is happening? You are not eating, you are not moving, you are not holding anything they want. They are just looking. And when you look back, they do not look away. They keep watching. For a long time, behaviorists thought this was a request, a silent ask for food, a walk, attention. But brain imaging has revealed something else entirely. When a dog stares at their primary person without an external trigger, their brain releases oxytocin, the same hormone a mother's brain releases when she looks at her newborn, the same hormone that, in humans, creates the feeling we call love. But here's the part that will hit you. The oxytocin release is mutual. When you look back at them, your brain releases it too. A 2015 study from Japan confirmed it. The eye contact between a dog and their primary human is biochemically identical to the bond between a mother and child. It is not a metaphor. It is not sentimentality. It is the same hormone on the same circuit doing the same thing. So when your dog stares at you for no reason at all, they are not asking for something. They are bonding with you in the deepest way their species knows how. And every time you meet that gaze, you are doing the same thing back. You are completing a circuit that has been built between humans and dogs over 15,000 years. That is the version of you they are looking for, the one who looks back. This is the one most owners never think about. Your dog has seen a version of you that no other person ever has. And they have made peace with all of it. They have seen you cry alone on the kitchen floor. They have seen the way you talk to yourself when you think no one can hear. They have seen the slumped shoulders you straighten the moment a friend walks in. They have seen the fake voice you use on the phone and the real voice that comes back the second you hang up. For most humans, there is a public self and a private self. We work hard to keep them separate, but the dog does not know there is a difference. To them, both versions are simply you. They do not judge the private one. They do not love the public one more. They have integrated every version of you into a single being they recognize, and they love that being without condition. This is why veterans with PTSD often say their service dog saved their life. It is why people in deep grief will sometimes only speak to their dog for weeks at a time. It is not because the dog is replacing human connection. It is because the dog is offering something most humans cannot. Presence without pretense. You do not have to perform for your dog. You never did. And on some level, your nervous system knows that, which is why, when you come home after a long day and your dog presses against your leg, your blood pressure literally drops. The version of you they know is the only version that gets to fully rest. The final piece of what neuroscience has revealed is, in some ways, the most haunting. Even when you are not in the room, your dog is carrying a representation of you in their brain. Researchers found that when dogs were left alone, the regions of their brain associated with their primary person remained mildly active. They were thinking about you, in whatever shape thinking takes for a dog. The smell of your clothes on the chair, the sound of a car that resembles yours, the empty space at the foot of the bed where you usually sit. Your dog does not have the human concept of time. They cannot count the hours until you return. But they have something else. They have a sustained internal echo of your presence that softens the absence. They are not waiting for you the way a human waits. They are holding you, internally, like a song that is not finished playing. And when you finally walk back through the door, the song does not start. It resumes. This is why the welcome you receive after a long absence feels disproportionate to how long you were gone. Because to them, the bond never paused. It just dimmed. And you walking back in turns the volume back up. So when your dog looks at you tonight, really looks at you, from the foot of the bed, or from across the kitchen, or from the spot they always sit while you read, they are not seeing what your friends see. They are not seeing what the mirror shows you. They are not even seeing what you see when you look at yourself. They are seeing the smell of every day you have lived with them, the tone underneath your words, the patterns of your life they have studied for years, the private version no one else has met, the eyes that meet theirs and complete a circuit older than civilization itself. Your dog does not see a human. They do not see an owner. They see the one being their entire biology was built to find. They see the version of you that no one else ever will. And to them, that version is not just enough. It is everything. If this video helped you see your dog differently, leave a comment with their name. Sometimes saying it out loud is its own kind of love. And if you want more videos that go deeper into what your dog is actually experiencing, the next one will already be waiting for you.